Storytime Productions. Twisted Tales.
Hello my friends, here is part 3 to Jinx's Carnival of Shadows. Enjoy. The fires of hell burned around Emily and Marcus, their searing heat a constant reminder of their dire situation. Chained and surrounded by zombie-like demons, they were dragged towards a massive dark throne. Seated upon it was the king demon, a towering figure whose presence dwarfed all others. "Welcome to my domain," the king demon intoned, his voice echoing like thunder. His eyes, glowing with malevolent fire, bore into them. "You belong to me now." Emily and Marcus exchanged a glance, a silent agreement passing between them. They had to find a way out. As the king demon and his minions reveled in their despair, they spotted a small opening in the cavern wall, partially hidden by shadows. In a moment of distraction, Marcus whispered to Emily, "Now's our chance." They broke free from their chains with a strength born of desperation and sprinted towards the opening. Shouts of anger erupted behind them as the demons realized their prey was escaping. The narrow passage led them into a maze of tunnels, each more twisted and eerie than the last. The walls seemed to pulse with a life of their own, and the air was thick with the stench of decay. As they ran, grotesque figures and nightmarish scenes flickered in the darkness, manifestations of their deepest fears. They entered a cavern where monstrous, shadowy figures loomed over them. Emily's heart pounded as she recognized one of her worst fears: giant spiders. Their legs skittered towards her, eyes gleaming with hunger. She grabbed Marcus's hand, and together they darted through the web of nightmares, barely avoiding the grasping legs. Further on, Marcus faced his own terror, a sea of writhing snakes. They slithered around his feet, hissing and snapping. He fought the urge to scream, pulling Emily through the serpentine horror as they searched for a way out. The tunnels twisted upwards, leading them through chambers filled with ghastly apparitions and echoing screams. Each obstacle they faced was a manifestation of their worst fears, conjured to break their spirits. But their determination to escape kept them moving. They stumbled into a room filled with eerie, whispering voices. The air grew colder, and shadows danced on the walls. Emily shuddered as the whispers formed into cruel taunts, voices from her past that had once tormented her. She covered her ears and pushed forward, Marcus right behind her. The path grew steeper, the air thicker with each step. They encountered demons and monsters, grotesque and twisted, each more terrifying than the last. The ground beneath them seemed to shift and heave, trying to pull them back into the depths of hell. Finally, they reached a narrow, winding staircase that seemed to lead upwards. It was their only chance. With every ounce of strength they climbed, their legs burning and lungs gasping for breath. The staircase seemed endless, twisting and turning in impossible ways. As they neared the top, a deafening roar echoed behind them. The king demon had discovered their escape and was giving chase, his colossal form crashing through the tunnels. "Faster!" Marcus urged, pulling Emily along as they raced up the final steps. The air grew cooler, and a faint glimmer of light appeared above them, a beacon of hope. Just as they reached the top, a massive hand grabbed at them, the king demon's furious roar shaking the very ground. Emily and Marcus tumbled through the opening, landing in a dark, desolate landscape. They were out of the maze, but far from safe. They stood, catching their breath, their bodies bruised and exhausted. The king demon glared up at them from the depths, his eyes burning with rage. "You cannot escape me," he bellowed. "I will find you." Emily and Marcus knew their ordeal was far from over. The landscape around them was bleak and unwelcoming, filled with new dangers and horrors. They had to keep moving, had to find a way back to the world above. But for now, they had a moment of reprieve, a chance to gather their strength and plan their next move. The journey ahead would be fraught with peril, but they were determined to fight, to survive, and to escape the clutches of hell. "Getting intense. Let's hope they make it out," Finale tomorrow at same time, 4:45 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And until then, my friends, I will see you on the dark side. Sweet nightmares.